Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here today because we are going on an exclusive, behind-the-scenes virtual backlot tour. Our destination? A wildly imaginative, grassroots indie studio based right out of the state of Missouri called Russell's Entertainment Studios. We're going to explore how one creator is literally building an entire cinematic universe from the ground up, blending cutting-edge tools with a pure, unapologetic love for storytelling. Let's get right into it. And we are jumping straight into the action. I mean, no slow, brooding dialogue here. We are kicking things off with Warrior Wolf locked in a high-stakes kung fu match against two green ninjas. It instantly sets the exact tone for the high-energy, fun first action projects this Missouri-based studio is absolutely dedicated to creating. It's bold, it's straight to the point, and honestly, it's just incredibly fun. So the mastermind behind all this action is the studio's executive and creator, Russell Blade. And his whole philosophy is perfectly summed up in his own words. He describes himself as an AI creator, but listen to how he frames it. It's about using imagination to be more creative. For Russell, blending AI with non-AI tools isn't about taking shortcuts. Nope, it's simply a way to expand his artistic boundaries, and most importantly, just have a really good time doing it. It's such a refreshing, joyful approach to modern digital art, you know? Section 1, the action movie stars, Kung Fu and tag teams. Let's break down the two main heavyweight stars of the studio. On one hand, you have Warrior Wolf. He's the powerhouse Kung Fu trainee who handles the martial arts action. And then, contrasting him perfectly, you have Roscoe, or sometimes spelled Rasco, the bear. Roscoe is a massive fan favorite with some incredibly wholesome traits. When he isn't in the spotlight, he's out cutting down winter wood, or just dancing around to music. It shows that Russell is building characters with distinct, quirky lives, outside of just their main action roles. But here's where it gets awesome. These distinct characters don't just stay in their own separate lanes, they actually cross paths and team up. Warrior Wolf and Roscoe the Bear join forces as a totally formidable tag team in the Extreme Rampage wrestling corner of the studio's universe. It is a brilliant bit of world building. You take a kung fu master and a dancing, woodcutting bear, and you throw them into the wrestling ring together. It expands the action genres they can play in, seamlessly connecting different parts of the studio's lore. And just to show you the quirky depth of these AI creations, think about the number $25,000. Now, this isn't some box office figure. This represents the unexpected stroke of luck when Warrior Wolf won $25,000 playing a slot game. It's these sudden, funny, slice-of-life moments that make the channels so uniquely entertaining. I guess even tough action heroes like to hit the slots on their days off. Moving on to Section 2, the horror antagonist, facing Davy the evil clown, Zack. Now, this brilliantly illustrates the interactive lore of the studio. This isn't just a rhetorical question, it's an actual community poll that Russell posted for his audience. He introduces this terrifying antagonist, Dave the evil clown Zack, and instead of just writing the script himself, he actively engages his viewers in the storytelling process. He literally asks them to weigh in on the narrative direction of his horror movies. Here is who was on the ballot. The viewers got to vote on which of these heroic contenders could take down the evil clown. We see our familiar action stars, Roscoe the Bear and Warrior Wolf, crossing over into the horror genre, alongside another character, Danger Dog. By listing these heroes as options, Russell emphasizes how the audience helps decide the fate of these intense, cross-genre horror matchups. It makes the viewer feel like an active producer in the studio. But of course, even the horror genre gets that signature Russell Blade twist of humor. Imagine this absolutely terrifying evil clown suddenly getting aggressively disciplined at boot camp by Russell Blade himself, acting as a drill sergeant. It's a surprisingly funny narrative curveball where the creator literally steps into his own universe to yell at his own horror villain. It completely deflates the tension in the best way possible, showing that the studio never takes itself too seriously. Section 3. The narrators and mascots, the voices of the studio. The whole universe is glued together by this fascinating persona, the American spirit Russell Blade. So Russell actually inserts an idealized version of himself directly into the canon. He serves as the overarching storyteller, the omniscient guide who explains the backstories of his AI creations and personally invites the audience to explore his world. It adds this wonderful layer of creator-audience intimacy that you just rarely see in larger studios. But the American spirit doesn't handle the broadcasting alone. The studio features an incredibly eclectic mix of mascots that make the channel feel like a lively, unpredictable broadcast network. You've got Roscoe the Bear pulling double duty, stepping out of the wrestling ring to act as a dancing studio spokesperson. directly telling you that you are watching Russell's Entertainment Studios. And then you have characters like the Orange Hillbilly Cat, who just drops in to tell recurring stories about gold. It's this variety that makes tuning in so much fun. Section 4, Behind the Scenes Reality. AI imagination versus production reality. There's a dual life to being an indie digital artist today. On one side, you have the AI imagination, the boundless, epic scope of creating limitless kung fu battles and terrifying clowns. But then look at the production reality. Behind all that magic is a creator sitting at a desk, doing manual video editing and dealing with highly relatable, frustrating tech issues. In fact, Russell shared a behind-the-scenes reality check about struggling with a failing computer motherboard. It's a stark reminder that even with advanced AI, the manual labor of video editing and the physical constraints of hardware are still very real hurdles for independent creators. Ultimately, whether he's balancing the latest AI generation tools with manual video editing or wrestling with a fried computer motherboard, the underlying mission of this grassroots indie production never wavers. Like he says, some of it is AI, some of it is not, but they're just here to have fun. It's pure, unadulterated passion for the craft of entertaining. Which brings us to our final thought. Russell Blade took his imagination, combined AI with traditional editing tools, and built a universe where martial arts wolves and dancing bears battle evil clowns. The democratization of digital art means these tools are available to almost anyone today. So what kind of cinematic universe would you build if you had these AI tools at your fingertips? Let Russell's boundless creativity inspire you to start imagining your own worlds. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep creating.